Hello everybody, I hope you are well. Okay. I'm getting even more technical today. On Monday I introduced you to 4 power accumulators which are part of the power package, which is the shoulders and both arms. These are the bits that actually transport the club to the ball. So they're supported by the body, and that's really how we transfer the power from the body through our shoulders, arms and hands and the club to the ball. So we talked about one of the accumulators being the right arm for a right-handed golfer, and the bending and straightening of the right arm, and how that applies pressure on the ball through impact. The number 2 that we talked about was the cocking and uncocking of the left wrist, and what that does in the golf swing. Number 3 was the lead arm roll. So this movement of the left arm for a right-handed golfer, so it rotates and applies a bit of power to the back of the ball. And the 4th one was the firing of the left arm off the chest. Okay, so that movement. So they were the 4 accumulators. If you have had a chance to do a little bit of exploration, what have you found out? What have you noticed? I'd asked if you could isolate them and do one at a time and just see what happened. One accumulator wouldn't really generate much power in the golf swing, so most golfers will probably use 2 of the power sources, and the most common for full swings would be the right arm bending and the cocking and uncocking of the left wrist. Those 2 are probably the ones that you'll see the most. For certain shots you may see a different mix of accumulators. For shots around the green you might only need 1, where you're chipping and it's just a sort of small gentle movement. You won't need power, so you can use different accumulators, different power sources for different types of shots. But most people who play golf will probably use 2. The ones that are less likely to be used are the rolling of the target arm and the firing of the target arm off the chest. But they're missed opportunities when it comes to generating power. More accomplished players will probably roll 3 of those in together, and we talked about Rory and Koepka on Monday, where McIlroy, he recruits his left arm, his target arm, and that arm roll, and Koepka's more using number 4 and firing it off the chest, and they give different ball flights. A number of the elite players do use all 4, but the sequence of them is probably quite challenging. So for good amateur players, 2 or 3 accumulators or power sources would be all that most club players could utilise. Okay, if you have had a chance to do the little bit of exploration, I'm curious to know what you found out. Did you find that your hold on the club may not have been optimal? And I wouldn't normally go and change someone's grip because it didn't look right, but it might help them explore and find if the grip is adequate and if there are improvement opportunities from the way they hold the club. The reason it's important that how we hold the club is to allow us to optimise the power sources that we've discussed. So there's how we contact or put our hands in contact with the club is quite important. So for the right arm power source, we would be looking at how it makes contact to the club and the heel of the right hand would be in contact with the left thumb for a right-handed golfer, and that needs to be in the right position to allow us to apply pressure behind the shaft to resist impact and to apply pressure on the ball. Okay. The position of the right hand and the left hand needs to be in the correct position that allows us to cock and uncock the left wrist as effectively as we can. Quite often we'll find a left hand that is too far around towards the target and it's under the handle or under the shaft, and that becomes difficult to cock and uncock. Equally, if it gets too far around this other way, again, that can make the cocking and uncocking a bit more difficult. So they're probably the two main positions for how we put our hands on the club. This trigger finger, I'm sure you've talked about it, that is one that helps with the forearm roll, and if that's in the right place, that helps this rotation. So that's three positions on the hold. So these three fingers of the left hand, top three, they're in here controlling cocking and uncocking. Right hand onto the left thumb operates the right arm bending and straightening, and the index finger just in the first joint there. Okay, just in the first joint on the handle. That optimizes the opportunity to use the forearm roll. That hook is driving down in this direction. Okay. The fourth contact point, which isn't in the hands at all, is here, and that can be monitored through the swing. So as we go into our backswing, this contact point increases the pressure on the chest, and then it's still there as we come down towards impact, and then it's fired off the chest. So that contact point or that pressure point is there and then off. So there's three pressure points in the hand and the fourth one on the chest, and they could be monitored through the swing. So top three fingers, the left hand, contact point between the right hand and the left thumb, and the trigger finger of the right hand for a right-handed golfer. For left-handers, we just need to reverse that. Okay, so that's the homework for now. Go back to the power accumulators, see if your grip and how you hold the club is optimum, or is it getting in the way of you operating these power sources efficiently. Go and have some fun, and we'll move on to the next stage on Friday. Take care, see you soon.